How are you feeling? Are you okay to proceed?
Yes, thank you.
Let us know if you feel uncomfortable so we can take a break. Now let's start from the beginning. How did you meet the plaintiff?
I met them at work. We were colleagues a long time ago. We exchanged numbers when I recently bumped into them at a coffee shop.
Did they say or do anything out of the ordinary?
No, they were very polite and seemed to just want to stay in touch.
Where did things start to get uncomfortable?
They asked me for my Instagram account and started liking all my pictures late at night. I thought it was a bit bizarre, but I didn't make much of it. Then they started sending me messages late at night every day. Most of them were slightly awkward, like them telling me they were too shy to ask me out when they saw me at the coffee shop. I was trying to be polite, so I replied to them without giving them a reason to think that I wanted to pursue things. Once I replied, the messages started to come in more frequently, so I was now receiving multiple messages from early in the morning to very late hours at night. I decided that the best tactic would just be to ignore the messages.
How did that go?
Not great. They got extremely sad and started sending me messages about how they were neglected by their parents and bullied at school. And then they told me that they could never remain in a relationship for a long time because they'd always get abandoned. Very intimate details, you know. I felt very uncomfortable reading the messages. Later on, they insisted that I am the one and that they always felt a strong bond with me from the moment we started working in the same office, which I was never aware of. It made me feel quite weird, and so I blocked them on Instagram and my phone.
Did that help at all?
No, it got worse. I suspect that they brought a new SIM card and started sending me threatening messages like, "How dare you do this to our love? Can't you see it was destiny that we met at that coffee shop?" And so I blocked them again. And then they created new Instagram profiles and started messaging me and commenting on my hair and the clothes that I was wearing that day, which made it obvious that they were following me and watching me all the time. Made me feel extremely scared. And that's why I decided to delete my social media and change my number. And that's when things got really bad.
What happened?
They started to bring presents to my home and leave them by my door every morning and evening. They started mailing me handwritten love letters or death threats, depending on their mood of the day, which they mailed through my letterbox straight into my flat. They even slashed my car tyres so I couldn't leave the house for work. I knew I had to call the police when one day they kept on shouting stuff through my letterbox. I could see their eyes through the letterbox and the doors, and it was so scary. That night, I decided to call the police and press charges of stalking and harassment.
Would you be willing to testify about this in court?
If that's what it takes to make this stop, I'm willing to do that, yes.
Thank you for your time. I'll now email you the written statement for you to review and sign before we proceed.